Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Satwatul Islam. I'm a physiotherapist. Today I'm here with the treatment and the precautions of COVID. Let's start with little knowledge of lungs and COVID. Then I will tell you about the precautions and the treatment of COVID. So, lungs are a pair of spongy, air-filled organs located on either side of the chest or thorax. They keep us all alive. Oxygen enters our lungs as a part of the air that we breathe. It goes to the blood vessels deep in our lungs and then on all parts of our body. As our body uses oxygen, it makes a waste product called carbon dioxide. A normal rate of respiration of an adult is 12 to 25 breaths per minute. Oxygen saturation is the amount of oxygen in the blood. Normal oxygen saturation ranges from 95 to 100%. A level of 92% indicates potential hypoxemia or deficiency in oxygen reaching tissues in the body. One thing we should keep in mind that damaged or fibrous lungs. Lung tissue does not repair itself. However, there are things you can do to slow down the progression of disease, improve your symptoms, stay out of hospital and live longer. So, coronavirus is a large family of viruses that cause illness in humans and animals. In people, coronavirus can cause illness ranging in severity from common cold to pneumonia and severe acute respiratory illness. The estimated incubation period is unknown and currently considered to be up to 14 days post exposure. Common symptoms of COVID are shortness of breath, a cough that gets more severe over time, fever, chills, and fatigue. Less common symptoms include repeated shaking with chills, sore throat, headache, muscle aches and pains, loss of taste or smell, a stuffy or runny nose, GIT symptoms such as diarrhea, nausea, and vomiting, discoloration of the fingers or toes, pink eye, rash. However, individuals with COVID 19 may have some, all, or none of the above. COVID has been characterized as mild and severe COVID. Mild COVID 19. Most people with COVID 19 will only have a mild case. According to the National Institute of Health's COVID 19 treatment guidelines, people are characterized as having a mild case if they have any of the typical symptoms of COVID 19, such as cough, fatigue, loss of taste or smell, don't have shortness of breath or abnormal chest imaging. Mild cases can still have long lasting effects. Emergency medical service if you have or someone you care for has any of the following symptoms: trouble breathing, blue lips or a blue face, persistent pain or pressure in the chest, confusion, excessive drowsiness. You are at a high risk of contracting COVID if you come into contact with someone who is carrying it, especially if you have been exposed to their saliva or been near them when they are coughed, sneezed, or talked. Older adults and people with certain health conditions have a higher risk. These health conditions include cancer, serious heart conditions such as heart failure, coronary artery disease, and cardiomyopathies, chronic kidney disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, obesity, which occurs in people with body mass index of 30 or higher, sickle cell anemia, a weakened immune system from a solid organ transplant, type 2 diabetes. COVID 19 and pregnancy. Pregnancy also puts you at a high risk of complication from COVID 19. The CDC trusted source reports that pregnant women are more likely to experience severe COVID 19 illness than non pregnant women. For instance, pregnant women enter the intensive care unit at nearly 3 times the rate of non pregnant women. Mortality rates of pregnant women are also higher. Diagnosis. COVID 19 can be diagnosed similarly to other conditions caused by viral infections such as blood, saliva, or tissue sample. To check the severity of your lung condition, go for X-ray, CT scan in order to get best treatment. Researchers have seen the following complications in people who have developed COVID 19: acute respiratory distress syndrome, irregular heartbeat, cardiogenic shock, kidney injury or kidney failure, including needing dialysis, severe muscle pain, fatigue, heart damage or heart attack, multisystem inflammatory syndrome in children. This is also known as pediatric multisystem inflammatory syndrome, pneumonia. The question is when to see your doctor. Talk with your doctor right away if you think you have COVID 19 or you notice symptoms. Your doctor will advise you on whether you should stay home or monitor your symptoms. Set up a telehealth visit. Come into doctor's office to be evaluated. Go to the hospital for more urgent care. Now come toward the prevention tips. Wash your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds at a time. Don't touch your face, eyes, nose, mouth when your hands are dirty. Don't get out of if you are feeling sick or having any cold or flu symptoms. Stay at least 6 feet 2 meters away from people. Avoid crowds and large gatherings. Cover your mouth with a tissue or the inside of your elbow whenever you sneeze or cough. Throw away any tissue you use right away. Wear a mask or face covering in public places. The first thing you have to buy is an oximeter. An oximeter is a device that measures the proportion of oxygenated hemoglobin in the blood in pulsating vessels, especially the capillaries of the finger or ear. An oxygen saturation level of 95% is considered normal for most healthy individuals. A level of 92% indicates potential hypoxemia or deficiency in oxygen reaching the tissues in the body. Check your oxygen saturation level frequently. Now come toward the treatment. If you have trouble breathing, take a bowl, put some water in it, boil the water and add 12 cloves. Take its steam. This will ease the breathing. It is very useful in the treatment of the COVID. Just try it. I will show you how to take a steam. Now come toward the breathing exercises. These breathing exercises are used to clear lung secretion, to clear sputum, to increase lung capacity. Let's start with the dyspnea relieving position. Dyspnea is the shortness of breath. If you feel shortness of breath, then sit with legs hanging down. Place hands on the side of the bed. Bend your trunk forward. Blow out from mouth 4 to 5 times. The second position you can adopt is sit on bed with legs folded. Take 2 to 3 pillows on bed. Fold hands and place them on pillows. Then move your head down, then blow out from the mouth. This will help in relieving breathlessness. I will show you how to perform these exercises. Let's see. Abdominal breathing exercise or diaphragmatic breathing. Sleep down on bed, incline to 45 degrees by placing pillows. Keep both hands on your belly in order to feel belly raise or movement. Breathe in slowly and deeply through nose so that when you inspire, air in your abdomen or belly raise. You have to push your abdomen out when breathing in, then exhale slowly through mouth. This exercise strengthens diaphragm, the primary muscle of breathing. Next is deep breathing exercise. Breathe in through nose. Hold your breath for 5 seconds, then blow out slowly. Do all these exercises twice or thrice a day, 5 to 10 repetitions each time. But if you feel fatigue, relax for some time, then do again, or you can decrease the repetitions. Next is thoracic expansion exercise. For this, sit upright. Place both hands on chest or lateral aspect of chest. Inhale through nose. Meanwhile, apply manual resistance by hands on ribs as chest expands or move out. Towel stretch breathing exercise. Take a towel, wrap it at lower part of the chest. Hold loose ends of towel with both hands. Apply resistance by moving hands outside during inspiration, then relax during expiration. Sniffle exercise. Inhale in and out of nose for 10 to 15 seconds quickly. This exercise will help in the strengthening of diaphragmatic muscles. Now we will move towards arms up and down exercise. In this exercise, inhale slowly through nose when arms move up. Exhale slowly through mouth when arms move down. Now, keep your arms at the side of the chest. Inhale while arms moves up from side and exhale when arms move down from sides. Now, breathe in while shrugging your shoulders towards your ear and breathe out when you move your shoulders down. Now make elbow circles. For this, bend your elbow and place your hands on the shoulder. You have to move circles clockwise and anti-clockwise. Inhale in when elbows move up and exhale out when elbows moves down. Wall push-ups. Stand facing wall and placing hands wide apart. Breathe in through nose while moving towards the wall. Breathe out through mouth while moving away from the wall. The next thing is positive expiratory pressure. Take a cup filled with 1/3 of water and a straw. Take a deep breath, then blow out through the tubing. Create bubbles in the water for as long as possible. Repeat for 3 to 5 times for one cycle. Postural drainage technique. If you have secretions stuck in lungs, for this different positions are used. First position is sleep on your back. Attendant will do percussions. For this, cup both hands and tap on chest. The next one is sideline drainage. Sleep on one side, then other side. Then same tapping is applied. If patient feels any secretions are coming out, ask him to sit and cough the secretion out in a disposable cup having some water. Attendant should wear mask and stand away to avoid contact with the secretions. The next position is the prone lying position. Sleep on your stomach. Place pillows under your stomach. This position is assisted by gravity to clear the secretions. The attendant can also apply the percussions in this position. Huff and cough. Take deep breath for 3 seconds then cough. This technique can also be used to clear the secretions. Spirometry. This is very important and useful for patients who are on bed. This can be used by any patient. Mouthpiece or spirometer should be cleaned properly before and after use. For inspiratory muscles, sit straight, hold spirometer in front of your mouth. Place mouthpiece in your mouth, then breathe in, try to raise balls up. Do this for 10 times at one time. Do not do more to avoid inspiratory muscles fatigue. For expiratory muscles, turn the spirometer downwards and blow out through mouth into the spirometer. The other exercises that you can do for the expiratory muscles are you can hold a paper in front of mouth and blow out from mouth and move the paper as far as possible. Start by placing paper closer that increases the distance with time. Next thing you can do is hold breath in, then blow the whistle, blow the balloons, blow the candles. Let me show you all of these exercises. The next thing is aerobic exercises, bench press. You can do bench press by step up and down on stair. Slowly increase the speed. You can do walking, cycling, climbing up and down the stairs. Thank you everyone for watching my video. I hope you all will get benefit from this video. Do not forget to comment, like and